In 1967, the Cumberland Presbyterian Kindergarten was established. So can you tell me a little bit how that started?
Yes, Louise Shelton, who was my sister-in-law, had been teaching in a kindergarten at Greenville, Kentucky, and when they moved to Morganfield, she realized that there wasn't anything like that around. So she got to thinking about starting one at our church and asked me if I would help.
And was this something you had to think twice about, or was it just like, yes, I can do this?
No, I was excited about it. I really wanted to do something like that. So I love to work with children because I had taught that age, and they're just the best to work with, that 4 and 5 year olds.
I noticed the first class had 12 students. How did you advertise, or did you advertise to get that first class started?
Well, I don't remember whether we, like put anything in the paper, or I know that we knew some families that had children that age and did some calling, and even there were some that came from Morganfield, and Louise would pick them up at Morganfield and bring them down to our school.
So the first class had 12, and then I saw the third class had 32.
Right.
So after that first year, you knew it was a success.
Yes, it was. It
Right.
really was. And we didn't like to turn anyone down, but that was almost too many for one class.
And you always did it Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday?
Right.
Half a day.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. At the very beginning, we didn't know if the elders would allow us to do that. We had felt, but we didn't ask them. Brother Shari was a pastor, he'd go along with anything for us.
Tell me a little bit about how the day would go when you were teaching.
Well, the first thing, we had what we called our opening, and that was when they brought their chairs up by our table where the teachers sat, and each student had a special day, and it was according to the way their name was put on the roll. And that was the day that they got to hold the flag, and we said the pledge, and we talked about the weather, and we talked about we had a flannel board that we put up, and had a little boy and a little girl on it, and we talked about what you should wear in that kind of weather, what day it was of the week, and the date and the month. And if they had something for show and tell, like they wanted to show something and describe what they liked about it and what it was, then that person could do that day. And also they would get to hand out napkins when we had refreshments, and then we always had we said prayer before we ate, and we had playtime. We had time for a story before we went home. We sang songs, and we did sing "Jesus Loves Me" at our openings exercise.
So every day?
Every day, uh-huh.
Yeah.
He is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so.
And so we used rooms. We had one room. We had the kitchen furniture, and that's where most of the girls played. And then we had a reading room where we had books, and we called that the library. And then another room that we had blocks in, and they played with blocks and built things, and they had cars, and that was where the boys liked to play, and sometimes the girls too. And then we would have a little while of that, and then we'd have cleanup time, which everyone had to pitch in and help clean up, or they were supposed to. and most of them did. They were real good about doing that.
What were some things that, as a teacher, you wanted them to learn?
Well, we learned in kindergarten. We taught them their letters, and really to learn how to make their name. And we had each week we would have a certain color. They didn't even know back then. They didn't even know their colors. there was very few that knew the colors as 5-year-olds. Now it's 3 and they know their colors, but we would have a paper. They learned to make a letter that week, and it would be like Red Week, and they learned that color, and they were supposed to wear something red, and we colored pictures with red and talked about red one week. Next week it would be a different color, so that's kind of how we did that.
And you also taught songs
And
and the pledge.
pledge, yes.
So what were, I know there were some special days too that you all would do field trips. What were some of the things you did when you did field trips?
Well, on one of them, we went to the fire station, and there was somebody has a picture of that where we were at the fire station, and they taught them what to do if the house caught on fire, showed them all about the fire truck, let them hold the hose, and then when we had the small class, they let them ride back to the school on that fire truck, but that stopped after a while. I guess that was against rules. I don't know. But anyway, and then also at Halloween, they came in their costumes, and we went through town. And a lot of times it would be people run out of the store and bring them treats, and that was a big time. And in fact, anywhere we went, we walked. We even went to the school before school was out to show them how to eat at the cafeteria and what they had to do when they started school in the first grade.
So you mentioned that it was Louise's idea to start this preschool, and she approached you about helping. What kind of skills did she bring to the table? What kind of special gifts did she have?
Well, Louise was just a really hard worker. I mean, I just helped what she said to do because I had no idea about running a preschool. But she was determined, and she did a lot of work. Dr. Stoney's, all 3 of his children came, and Louise brought them from Morganfield. She went around and picked them up and brought them. But not at the same time. No, they were,
Through the years.
Yeah, through the years, because they were different ages. But yes, she did. But there were other children too that she picked up. She had some supplies that she had brought with her because she also had a kindergarten in her basement in Madisonville she had Nancy and then some, I don't know who, but anyway, a small kindergarten. And she had quite a bit of supplies. And the first month that we, as you said, we just had 12, we didn't even pay ourselves because we didn't have enough money. We used the money that we got and put it into the kindergarten. And then later on, though, when we did have more money, we would pay what we had. We managed the money. The church didn't manage the money. We had our own banking account and paid ourselves what we could for a while there. And I don't remember how much we charged them. I think it was $25 a month for the first year. And $5 supply fee when the year was half over, at the beginning of the year, and then when it was half over, we charged another $5 fee for their crayons and supplies that they use, scissors and so forth.
And is there anything else about Louise that made this a successful school? I know your all's relationship as sister-in-laws probably helped.
It did, yes, it did.
And the relationship with the church helped.
And yeah, both of us being members of the church helped at the beginning, and we had a lot of fun together, just being together. We really did, and I really miss her. One year, I just remember this one little girl, and I don't remember her name, but she was really cute. Well, they were all cute, but she, if she got upset, she didn't want anyone to know she cried, so she could smile and cry at the same time, and they would be running down her cheeks because
Aw.
she didn't want to look sad, but she couldn't help it sometimes.
Yeah.
And then we had a little boy that I still think about him. I don't think he started at the very beginning of the year, but anyway, we were teaching him how to answer the roll. When the roll called, we told him to say here if you're here. So when we got to him, he said Texas. Well, we just could not figure out why he said Texas. And later on, I talked to his aunt, and she said Wesley told me that everybody was going to be here at Christmas, but he was going to Texas, and Christmas wasn't even mentioned. It was so funny after I found out what he meant, because I thought, what is wrong with him?
Well, I'm sure you heard lots of stories from the kids about their families too, but
yes.
those are probably covered by some kind of confidentiality law.
Yeah. Yes, they always told you the truth about everything, what was going on at home. And some were so anxious to come, and some didn't want to come at all to begin with. Some of them were just so happy. We had one little girl, her mother told us the last day of school she came home and cried and cried and cried because she wasn't going to get to go back.
Now, these kids are grown up
And
and
their
have
children,
their own children or grandchildren
Yes.
even going to preschool. And I know you sometimes would talk about, well, that's the way their personality was even in kindergarten.
uh-huh,
The ones that took care of everybody
Yes.
else or
paid
needed,
attention.
or needed somebody to take care of them.
Yeah, just like Kaylee and Hillary.
The
The
same
difference in
age.
them.
Mhm.
Yeah. They were so different, but both of them, Hillary just had a good time. She just was
Congeniality.
Yeah. But boy, Kaylee, she was right on target all the time. She paid attention to everything that was, going on. And she's still that way, I think.
Yeah. Well, when did you know it was time to pass it on to someone else?
Well, when my patience wore out, it was one thing. I noticed that I was grouchier, and so I didn't, and my back hurt. That's the reason my patience ran out, because my back was hurting, and you had to lean over those tables and help, with the children. So, and I noticed that I didn't have the patience I had before. So, I thought it's time for me to quit and get someone else. And I'm so thankful that we've had good other teachers that stepped right in and took over, because I didn't want it to stop, and I'm really surprised and glad that they did do that.
Hello everybody, hello preschoolers, preschool families. My name is Maddie White, and I'm a member of the Sturgis Cumberland Presbyterian Church here in Sturgis, and I'm also a former preschooler, and I'm sure many of you watching this right now know the lady sitting here to my left. It's Miss Tanya Courtney. Miss Tanya has been an avid member of our preschool for a very long time here, and we just want to kind of sit here and talk about a few things and just talk about her experience doing that. So tell us, how long have you been here?
This is finishing my 20 years at CP Preschool. I started in '98.
Do you have any just ideas or good things you like to tell people coming into preschool? Anything that you could think of?
I think that the ladies before us have set such a high standard in the community, so it kind of made our job easier coming in as new teachers to kind of keep that flow going. The minute that child's name is on that list, they're part of our family here at CP. And I believe that the parents realize that one thing, they're going to be safe here, and that we're going to love them, and we're going to have them prepared for kindergarten when it's that time.
Union County offers a couple of different preschool programs. What do you feel like sets the Sturgis CP preschool apart from other preschools?
Again, I believe the reputation that the ladies before us and that we carry on now. And it's rewarding to know when a kindergarten teacher comes to you and say, we hope that we get your kiddos in our class because they're ready. And that's our goal, is to have them ready. Kindergarten is not like it was when we attended. The standard is so much higher. And so we kind of play together with the teachers and the counselor and the principal, and they kind of let us know this is what's changing, and we kind of do our planning, learning sessions by that to keep it, updated.
What are some of the most, memorable or rewarding things that you can kind of see with kids throughout the process of preschool? Are there any moments you really stand out to you?
Just when that light bulb's turned on, whenever we know what we're teaching them and they get it and they're excited that they got it. Just the other day, a little kiddo said, we were writing the number 6, and he's the cutest little thing, and he made it all by himself. I think he didn't realize he had made it, and when he did, he was like, me made that number,
Yes.
And then we were bragging on him, and another kid was like, I can't make it. He's like, that's okay, me can do that for you. So whenever that light bulb is turned on and we see they're excited about learning,
Yes,
that makes us proud.
I'm sure it does. Yeah. What legacy do you kind of hope to leave, with the preschoolers as they go? Is there some sort of legacy?
My hope is whenever they walk through that doors that they know that we truly care about them and that we have done everything in our power to have them prepared for not only kindergarten but the years to come in learning, And the sweetest thing is when we see them out in public that they're excited to see us and that they remember us,
Right.
because I feel like when that happens, we made an impact on their lives.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, are there any funny things that happen along the way?
Several. One of the funniest, and I believe that was already mentioned on our Facebook, is a little boy falling asleep during graduation, show and tells. We've had every type of show and tell you can imagine. Animals. We've had me lifted up on a crane.
That's pretty cool.
Tractors.
But is there anything else you'd like to share or say?
There's a few things, going back to how I come involved with CP is when I was a young girl, I was able to work with Grace Riggs. And
Okay.
she's a very special lady.
She is a special
And
lady.
so whenever I walked into the interviewing process, she was on the preschool committee.
Uh-huh.
And so not only did she hire me for my first job
Right.
in the workforce, but she hired me for this job. And so I hope I've made her proud. And the special thing is now we have her grandson.
Oh, that is
And
neat. Yeah.
so that's kind of full circle
Right.
for me, is able to have that connection with her in this church family.
Right.
And just the experience, and the church family has been so wonderful here.
Yes.
When they started the remodeling, they asked, what are your needs in the preschool? When we told them, because when I started, we literally had 2 boards that we would carry and put on an easel. And we stayed in the fellowship room. And they've given us the rainbow room is what we call this room. And they've added boards, and they've just, anything we've ever needed, they've been there for us. So
Right.
we have truly appreciate the support. And if we didn't have the church family and good parents, it wouldn't be a success, because it takes all of us together to make this work.
I'm sure that Grace, as well as the rest of the church family, is more than proud of you, and I can feel comfortable in saying that. You all have done a fantastic job. Sturgis CP Preschool is known countywide as being a great experience for our kids, and we are blessed to have had you, as well as Miss Amy and all the ladies that came before you all. Hey everybody, I'm back again, but this time I'm with Miss Amy Jones. When did you join the preschool team here, Amy?
This is my 11th year. I started, I think, in 2007, 2008.
Okay.
2008.
Okay.
2008.
Now, I understand that you are sort of in charge of the CP Preschool Facebook media page. Kind of tell me a little bit about that.
I'm a picture taker.
Okay.
I'm a picture taker. Anybody that has ever known me or has had their children in anything that my children were in, know that they could count on me to have my camera handy.
Moms like mine appreciate moms like you.
Yes. And I have those moms. Are you
Yes.
bringing the camera? Yes, I'm bringing my camera. So, I don't know, I just was one of those parents that even when Riley was here, I would sneak in anytime they did anything to take a few pictures and then leave because I wanted to know. So when Facebook I took pictures before anyway to send home to the parents, but when Facebook got really popular, I guess, I just thought that would be so nice. I would have loved it. I do the pictures for the slideshow we do.
Yes.
And I tell Tanya every year when I look at the first day of school picture
Yes.
and the end of school picture, we don't notice how much
They change.
until we look at the picture on that first day when they came in and the changes.
Before and after.
Yeah. But I just figured parents can see what's going on and grandparents and family that live off from here.
Yes.
I mean, it's just a good way to keep connected.
It's a wonderful, I think, attribute that you contribute to the preschool, and I'm sure all the parents out there are very thankful for what
And
you do.
I think it helps to get the preschool out there too. I mean,
It advertises,
Right.
you know, I mean, it really does, and it kind of allows, even, I know, members of the church family here who we may not, I don't have any children, I don't have any preschoolers, but I could look at your all's page and kind of feel a little bit more, even involved with that, like, be like, oh, look how sweet.
yeah, our parents, especially the ones that work and can't come
Right,
to some of the things we do, they love it.
yes. Well, we know that both you and Tanya are very passionate about what you do, and we're very thankful for your service to CP Preschool.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Miss Samantha, and I'm here with Scarlett Smith. Scarlett is a member of the Cumberland Presbyterian Church, and she is attending the preschool this year. And so Scarlett is going to tell us just a couple of things that she especially loves about the Cumberland Presbyterian Preschool. Scarlett, tell me, what is your favorite thing about preschool?
Counting to 100.
Counting to 100, that's a big deal. What did y'all do when you counted to 100? How did everybody come dressed to school? Like old women. Everybody was dressed like they were 100 years old, right? What else do you love about coming to preschool?
Playing with my friends.
What do you and your friends play when you're here?
Kitchen.
In the kitchen, that is fun. Scarlett is a great CP preschool student, and we are so glad that she was able to tell us a couple of things that she especially loves about the preschool. Thank you, Scarlett.